If you want to instantly increase your skill level in games such as Fortnite and Warzone, then you really need a back button attachment on your DualSense controller. This is Extreme Rate's Rise Remap Kit for PS5, which comes in at $35 and includes a different bottom shell which can even have a rubber grip. Now if this does look interesting to you, then watch through this full video as we are going to be giving away some of these kits to those of you who do. Oh, and I should mention that you can use code Octorious as well as the top link in the description to get 10% off of the kit if you want to buy one yourself. Anyway, I'll first be applying a kit to my Midnight Black DualSense, which already has Extreme Rate's DTF LED kit applied to it. You should watch my review of that specific kit right after this video as well. The remap kit arrives in a compact cardboard box, and you'll first open it to see the replacement back shell. I chose a black shell with a red grip for this controller, but there are lots of different options for you to choose from. In fact, the variety of different colours, patterns and grip type for this attachment is so vast, you're going to be able to find something you love so easily. I should mention that the kit is available with metal buttons too, which are even more durable. Also in the box, you'll find the tools and screws required for the installation, the back button attachment itself and the circuit board needed for it. You do get a 1-year warranty card with the kit as well, just in case anything happens to go wrong. Now, this video itself isn't about how to install the kit, as Extreme Rate have their own video for that which explains the full process really well, but I will briefly give you an overview of how my own installation went with the kit that Extreme Rate provided me with. Please note that whilst the kits in this video were sent to me free of charge, all the opinions I'm sharing with you are completely honest and I have not been paid to create this video. Anyway, it is a relatively simple installation process, even if you have never opened up a controller before, and it took me no longer than 30 minutes to do properly and carefully. To be completely honest with you, I installed the LED kit and this same kit on the exact same day, and that was my first time opening up a DualSense controller. To sum things up, you just have to pop the back off, replace the trigger flex cables with the ones Extreme Rate give you, get underneath the main board and then add the back button's flex cable by looping it onto the same plastic rings that the front board connects to. You then bring that back around to where the battery is, peel off the 3M tape, stick that down onto the battery and connect all the other flex cables back to this main board. You then need to screw the back button housing into the shell, connect the paddles to that using these short metal cylinders, thread the large flex cable from the controller through the gap in the new shell and plug that into the board for the paddles. That board then gets screwed into the shell and the controller can be sealed straight back together. The only thing left after that is to place a back button cover over the board and boom, that's it, all done. I applied a red textured grip to a black controller and a blue onto a white DualSense. I personally think they both look incredible. Doing the installation whilst following along with Extreme Rate's 30-minute guide made this all just so simple. Just make sure that you are careful with the flex cables, as they can be quite easy to break if you aren't disconnecting them properly. I may or may not have done that during my first attempt. Oops. Anyway, here are the controllers with the back paddles added. Truth be told, I've actually been using these controllers some months to be able to thoroughly stress test them, and I can confirm they're really durable. The rubberized grip is still like new, and it feels great to hold, so they definitely pass the test of time. If you ever find your controller slipping around in your hands at a tense moment, then this grip is going to solve that, so it's just great to know it lasts. Furthermore, the paddles still work perfectly, and I can't say I've noticed any extra latency either when using them. Both of these are the basic kits, but the clicking noise is still quite nice too. However, I have noticed over time that the K2 paddle on my textured blue kit has started to sound just a little louder and higher pitched than all the others, but that doesn't really bother me and I don't quite know why it's doing it. If you want to make sure these paddles do last forever though and have an even better click effect, then you should just go for the metal paddles instead. It's not that much more expensive. Now the attachment has been added, you can map the D-pad buttons, the bumpers and triggers, cross, circle, triangle and square all to the paddles on the back. Note that you can also map R3, L3 and the touchpad to these paddles, but soldering is required for that, so I didn't bother. I didn't want to make things more complicated. Another thing I should mention just real quick is that you aren't going to be able to fit the DualSense onto the official charging dock once the attachment has been installed, and for me, that really sucks. I like just knowing that my controllers are always going to be charged up, but I can't do that now I've added this back paddle attachment. But to be honest with you, the benefits of the paddles are going to far outweigh that loss for me. Anyway, to map the buttons to the paddles, first turn the controller on and connect it to your PS5. Now turn the controller over to its back and enter the remapping mode by holding down this button in the middle of the paddles for about 3 seconds. You should then see a red light come on. With that red light on, you should then hold down the paddle you want to map a button to at the same time as the button that you want to map to it. Once the button is mapped, the red light should quickly flash 3 times. If the button you're trying to map is already mapped to that paddle, then it is going to just blink at a slower rate to show you that. If for whatever reason you want to wipe the mappings you have entirely and start completely afresh, then hold down up, left, triangle, L1 and R1 for 5 seconds, which will make the red light blink 3 times before turning off. Now, no buttons are mapped to the paddles at all. To add buttons back to the paddles, then enter the remapping mode again and simultaneously hold down the paddle you want to assign a button to with said button until the light flashes 3 times to confirm the mapping. To get out of remap mode, hold down that middle button for another 3 seconds and the red light should then turn off. Personally, I like to have cross map to the left paddle, which is called K2, and square map to the right paddle, aka K1. This is because in games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or just basically any shooter, I'm then able to jump without taking my thumb off of R3, which keeps my aim steadier, and I can reload without the need of taking my thumb off of the stick too. It just brings the experience a lot closer to using a keyboard and mouse, but keeps you on a controller. Now without the back paddles there, it's so easy to mess up your aim as your thumb reaches diagonally up to the right whenever you have to try to jump or reload. It's for that reason I truly believe these back paddles are essential to any PS5 owner, so you should really consider getting one for yourself. In fact, to try and get these Extreme Rate kits into the hands of as many people as possible, Extreme Rate have very kindly offered to give away a kit to 3 of you watching this very video. If you wish to enter that giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video and leave a comment letting us know which kit you would like and what your favourite thing about that kit is. You could also become a channel member for just $1 and receive an extra entry. You also have a choice of Extreme Rate's LED buttons kit, which you can learn more about by clicking the video on screen now.